I lost a battle this morning. I woke up 4 a.m., same as I do every single day, hopped in my cold shower, did my horse dance, and then I came back upstairs and I got lost in a rabbit hole of doom because I have accumulated some very bad financial history lately. You see, I ran away to Thailand a few months ago, and in an attempt to not have to come back to the UK, I set myself with the idea that I'm just going to forget about all my debts and stuff until I can build my life, until I get everything up and running, rather than being a responsible adult and sorting everything out before I left and, leaving on a clean slate, being a bit more patient with it, saving up some more money, giving myself more time and actual mental freedom of fixing my financial situation. Before I left, I was just like, yeah, I'm going to run away and I'm going to fucking figure it out and make it. And I didn't make it. I didn't figure it out. But now I'm paying the consequences. I'll be honest, there's some like mild panic that happened to me when I woke up this morning, and I I lost the battle. Rather than just, charging into it and fueling the panic and turning, not fueling the panic, but turning the panic into fuel and using it to create, to give back, to provide value, I started just consuming. I started escaping. I went down a massive session of just content watching, and it's only 7 a.m. and I'm already like fried my brain with a doom scroll with YouTube videos, and the old me might have just literally scrapped off the entire rest of the day, just half-assed, flopped around like a mopey, flaccid cuck. But that's not how it works around here anymore. We don't wait until tomorrow to start again. We can literally recover the day. The day is still so young. It's 7 bloody a.m. If I can't make an epic comeback in the rest of the day, then there really is no hope for me. So let's fucking get it. Let's go bash out a gym session, get into a higher energy, higher frequency, and start recovering, because, man, there's so much more of today. There's so much more to give. One thing that I've really fallen away from lately is my relationship with God. And honestly, I started questioning my beliefs quite a lot. It all started when I started working on Saturday. A couple months before I left for Thailand, I sort of switched jobs, and for that, it was sort of required for me to work on Saturday. And at first, I had a massive existential crisis. Like, oh, I'm basically spitting all over my faith. I'm breaking the commandment, not to work on the Sabbath. And it was a intense turmoil for me. Slowly but surely, I realized that nothing bad actually happened, or so I thought. Nothing immediately bad happened as a consequence, so I started questioning my beliefs a bit. I was like, why have I been programmed to think that Saturday is the holy day? Why am I even programmed to believe that there's only one way to worship God? Why am I programmed, with this whole ideology of a certain denomination of Christianity? Like, why is this one superior to any other? And then that sort of got me down the rabbit hole of why is Christianity even better than Islam? Why is it better than Buddhism? Why are there so many answers, but nobody seems to have any definitive ones? And I've started to analyze that ever since I stopped having God as a core pillar of my life, things have been slowly unraveling because there's been a very flimsy basis of basic morality. I started to sort of even forget what my own values and beliefs were. Here's my thesis about how I want to operate moving forward is that I love God. I need to make him more of a pillar in my life because, I've sort of lost my connection with him, and I don't want to limit my understanding of God to just one specific dogma of Christianity, which I've been Seventh-day Adventist, and that's all I've sort of ever known. And I want to know God beyond just a very narrow view of one denomination of Christianity. I want to fully know God to the extent that he deserves, which I can't convince myself in my heart that there's only one right way of doing things. I think I always fell back to Seventh-day Adventist is because that's just what I was comfortable with, because that was, that's all I'd ever known. So it was much easier to just, fall in line and accept it blindly rather than, go out there, form a more holistic view, you could say. And I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole of God is the universe, all this hippy dippy stuff, even though it might be valid. I just don't believe that's what God is. I think God is a superior being, and we are invalidating him by saying, "Oh, God is us." We are God. The universe is God. God made the universe, sure, but anyway, yeah. I don't want to bore you with all this. This is supposed to be about me recovering from this little fall off in real time. And a good way of doing that is to tap back in to connection with God. Say a quick prayer, read a few verses, just open my heart to the Holy Spirit. Bananas are an excellent pre-workout carb, but frozen bananas, man, they're delicious. They taste like ice cream, and you can actually slowly enjoy every single bite.
So training hard is obviously very important, and I don't know if you could tell, but I train quite freaking hard. But something I've had a real struggle with lately is training mindfully, actually being here, present, in the moment, in flow state. I have a bit of a chaotic, scattered monkey mind, and I'm doing everything I can to tame it, calm it down, make it still, because that has been one of my biggest stumbling blocks in almost anything I've ever tried to accomplish. And so, what better opportunity, right, than coming in here, practicing, getting into a flow state, no intrusive thoughts, pure diligent focus on the moment at hand, aka every single set and every single rep. Let's go. So today is back day, and I would normally open with a straight bar pull-up of some kind, whether it be neutral grip or just with a flat bar. But unfortunately, I've had myself a little bit of an injury lately where my brachial plexus feels like it's got some kind of nerve compression. Like, it's really strange. It's definitely not a muscular injury, because it's only certain positions of how I move my arm or my shoulder that really, make it feel like there's some sharp electric pain that's just in a very specific spot. And then I do stretches like this, like what's called nerve flossing. More like nerd flossing, am I right? But doing this, it sort of like relieves it a bit, but that's why I have to be very, very mindful, very precise with my exercise technique, meaning I can't open with the pull-up I'd like, So I'm going on the rings and I'm attaching some absolutely baby weight to myself, only 10 kilos, because I'm going to be doing it with a very precise form. So let me show you. So as you can see, I was trying to spread my arms out wide. And my goodness, that really makes me weep here. As you can imagine, right? When you make the form harder, you lose strength. Honestly, it would be ideal if I could widen the rings out so that I could have it pulling in rather than having to pull out. Hey, we don't pull out around here. I'm only playing. Always pull out, bro.
In terms of mindfulness and flow state, I definitely had a good one. Honestly, presence amplifies everything. This workout went smooth as butter, and I can honestly say that I will make every single focus of every future workout just to be in the moment and actually push myself as hard as possible. Because I noticed with this exercise in particular, the rear delt fly, I was able to tap into a whole new level of pain at the very end when I didn't have any more reps left, just kept pulsing and pulsing and pulsing. That was a great session, and I did put in a good effort, especially at the end, because I did some extra cardio, which I would usually skip. I haven't done the rowing machine in years, damn near, and I don't think I've ever pushed it to that intensity. But my mate, who's a personal trainer there, he walked past and he had a look at my stats while I was doing it, and he laughed at me. He was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it ignited this fucking male competitive edge within me. Like, fuck you, I'm gonna show you what this is. Because he's a long distance endurance athlete, definitely not a bodybuilder. So that little freaking neg, you could say, it allowed me to go through new thresholds of pain to actually push myself. So I had a good session, but nonetheless, I sat back down here and immediately my head started spinning again, because even though I have, brought it back significantly from the fucking disgusting start of the day where I definitely fried my brain a bit, definitely that bled into the workout, not being able to reach the levels of mindfulness that I would have ideally liked. It started catching up to me. So like they say, comparison is the thief of joy. So when I sat down here, my head started going down another rabbit hole of, yeah, good job now, but cute effort, right? Because there are guys who do this and more, infinity times more, and they've already built what you want to build. And this sort of made me start thinking, fuck, I'm not doing enough. I haven't been doing enough for such a long time. And this is one of the beautiful joys of having high standards and high ambitions, is that no matter what you do to make yourself feel proud, you realize there's always more. There's always more. I definitely saved what could have been a shitty day, but I can get even better. So I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna do something that I haven't for a very, very long time, because I've just been procrastinating. I guess I've just been not wanting to, and it's so simple and it's so easy. So I'm gonna go do that right now. So it's complete. I haven't done a nice, good, deep breathwork session for months, and every single time I do so, I think, why don't I do this every day? Because, wow, what an immediate way to just snap into a higher state of consciousness. And the thing is, it's so easy. It's 20-25 minutes of guided breathwork. I have to do nothing, just put on a track and follow instructions. And I don't do it because I keep justifying it. Oh, I haven't got the time. I can't. I have more important things to do, right? But what important things, bro? The state in which you do anything matters so much. You sit down, you are about to do your important work, and your brain is fried, and you keep thinking more than acting. You don't get into a flow state. Why? It's because of the life you live outside. And man, it's ridiculous, because I do so many good habits, you could say. I do the meditation, I do the early wake ups, the freaking gym, and all of that has become second nature. And objectively speaking, going to the gym is a lot harder than doing breath work. Sitting down and writing when I have no creative ideas is so much harder than breath work. Waking up at 4 a.m. every single day, no matter how I feel, is infinitely harder than breath work. And yet, I skip it, because it's one of those things that are very easy to do, but just as easy not to do. And man, I'm sick of it. I keep saying that. So when will enough be enough? When will I get so sick of it that it becomes a permanent part of my life? We'll see. I'll keep you updated. So after my peaceful, enlightening breathwork session, I got called out for a mission. I got called out to go do some work for my company that I'm contracted for, doing deliveries. I wasn't supposed to come in today. I was actually had my root cut, even though I don't want it. I need to fucking work to get out of this shitty situation that I got myself in. But essentially, man, I've been having episodes where I felt the fury of hell just open up its fires inside of me, and every single moment I started getting pissed, because it's been pouring down with rain, dark, cars everywhere, shitty area that I really don't like to be in. I always have to just keep centering myself, keep reminding myself, like, bro, emotions mean nothing. You know what I mean? Why so serious, you could say. And I always have to remind myself that every single obstacle is an opportunity. I'm out here, I'm doing work that I don't want to do because of actions I've taken in the past to get me into this situation now. It was all my doing, it's nobody's fault but mine. And now I have to pay the consequences and pay down the ignorance debt, learn from my mistakes, do things differently next time. But while I'm here and I'm going through this completely subpar conditions of a life that is far, far, far from the one I want to live, I can at least rejoice in the moments of challenge that, you know, this is actually an opportunity for me to get better if I apply it with the right mentality. Because if I don't, I will just become like a bitter old hermit, always complaining, always grumbling, and things never going my way. And that is a mindset that is literally impossible to build a life that you want with. It's just, it doesn't add up in the same universe. So it looks like it's going to be a bit of a late one tonight. Not going to get my optimal 8 hours of sleep, that's for sure. But does it matter? No, because the alarm's going to go off at 4 a.m. tomorrow, regardless of if I want it to or not. And even though I don't have to work tomorrow, I get to wake up at 4 a.m. because it's another opportunity for me to chisel my mindset into something resilient.